안녕하세요. 오늘 크라임스 퍼니시먼트 뭐더라? 뭐더라? 그레인지 저택 살인사건 들어가 보겠습니다. 아, 내게 계속 착각해.
The letter is on the table, Holmes. You should take a look.
편지는 책상에 있다네. 편지.
I can tell from Lestrade's handwriting that he was in a hurry when he wrote this letter.
급하게 보냈군요.
The Brackenstall family coat of arms.
브래큰스톨.
A wax seal with the monogram
가문이래요. 이름이 왜 이렇게 많이 나와?
EB.
편지 아닌가 봐? 아, 읽어보는구나. 헨트즈, 마르샴, 에비그레인지 저택. 오전 3시 30분. 친애하는 홈즈씨, 흥미로운 사건이 발생했으니 이리로 와서 도와주셨으면 합니다. 홈즈씨의 취향과 딱 맞는 사건입니다. 브래큰스톨 부인을 풀어드린 다음 현장을 그대로 보존하는 중입니다. 하지만 서둘러 주십시오. 유스터스 경을 이 상태로 내버려 두기도 힘든 노릇이니까요. 이만 줄이겠습니다. 레스트레이드 경감. 친애한 레스트레이드 경감. 또 나를 불러주는구만.
So, what is it, Holmes?
What is it?
Promising, as always. It appears to be a case of murder.
So you believe that Sir Eustace is dead?
I should say so. Lestrade wouldn't have sent for me for less. His writing shows considerable agitation, and he is not an emotional man. These people belong to high society. The quality of the writing paper, the EB monogram, their coat of arms. The crime was committed before midnight.
Holmes, how can you possibly tell?
가보지도 않았는데 어떻게 알았지?
It is all thanks to Lestrade. He wrote his letter at 3:30 in the morning. Imagine the chain of events before that. The local police had to be called in. Scotland Yard was notified. Lestrade himself had to make haste there, and finally compose the letter he sent to me. All of that makes for a fair night's work.
It makes sense. Lestrade also speaks of the woman he released.
That seems to indicate that she had been held somewhere during the crime. Much time has been wasted. Let us find a cab and go to Abbey Grange immediately. I live in hope of an interesting morning.
흥미진진한 아침이 되겠는걸. 좋아요. 에비그레인지 저택 가봅시다. 지금 잘 보면은 저기에 미리 사건의 단서들을 알 수가 있거든? 열쇠가 또 있네? 눈에 보이는 게 열쇠밖에 안 보여.
Ah, Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson, here you are. I'm very glad that you have come, but perhaps I should not have troubled you after all.
And why is that?
Lady Brackenstall has come to her senses, and she has given so clear an account of the affair that there is not much left for us to do. You remember that Lewisham gang of burglars?
What, the three Randalls?
Exactly. The father and two sons. It's their work. They stole a silver service, which is of great value.
Sir Eustace Brackenstall is dead, then?
Yes. His head was knocked in with his own poker.
A violent act of aggression.
Yes, the poor lady. She has had a most dreadful experience. She was assaulted and tied to a chair. But I think that you would best see her and hear her account of the facts. She's in the morning room with her maid, Teresa Wright.
Where is the body of the deceased?
In the dining room. We haven't touched anything.
All right, I'm going to examine it.
Very good, Watson.
Very good, Watson.
Lord Ramsay Brackenstall.
램지 브라켄스톨. 이 사람 누구죠?
Sir Warthen Brackenstall.
워튼.
Lady Brackenstall awaits you
안
in the
보여.
morning room.
여긴가?
Ladies, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm assisting Inspector Lestrade in this investigation.
Mr. Holmes, I am the wife of Sir Eustace Brackenstall. We were married only
아,
a
되게
year
젊다고
ago.
생각했는데 1년밖에 안
I am
됐구나.
sorry for your loss. Please accept my deepest condolences.
I suppose that it is no use my attempting to conceal that our marriage has not been a happy one. I fear that all would tell you that, even if I were to attempt to deny it.
오, 상처가 있어. 근데 과연 이게 그 깡패들이 그런 걸까? 강도들이? 굉장히 젊은 분이시구만. 목걸이. 순금 불었지. 캥거루 호주 출신.
Can you describe to me the events of yesterday evening?
Is it really necessary? I have already told Inspector Lestrade all that happened.
Yes, madam, it is.
I will tell you then. Sir Eustace retired about 10:30. I sat in this room until after 11, absorbed in a book. Before I went upstairs, I entered the dining room to fetch a candle and... oh God.
Please, go on.
As I approached
11시쯤
the French window, I found myself face to face with an elderly, broad-shouldered man who had just stepped into the room. Close behind the first man, I saw two others. One of them struck me a savage blow with his fist and felled me unconscious to the ground.
And then?
When I came to myself, I found that they had secured me tightly to a dining room chair. It was at that instant
이거
my
공식한 거라
unfortunate
맞아? 왜
husband
이렇게
entered the
오타가
room.
많아?
He fought with the intruders?
Yes, I think he had hurt them, for he was holding his stick. But they were three, and he eventually succumbed. One of them, the elder one, struck him a terrible blow with the poker. I fainted once more. When I opened my eyes, they had withdrawn. Then my brave Teresa came to my assistance.
허허, 도둑 맞은 물건은
Did these three
없습니까?
villains steal anything?
Yes, I found that they had taken the silver from the sideboard, but you can see for yourself in the dining room.
You mentioned that your marriage was not a happy one. Was there anything specific that was troubling you?
He was not a nice man when he was drunk, and he suffered from dark moods, but nothing else.
그것뿐이라고?
The bruises on your hands are at least 1 week old. Your husband caused those bruises?
Oh, do you... Yes, he did. He was very angry at the time. Out of control. Again. Sir Eustace was a drunkard. To be tied to such a man for life is worse than death.
Your ladyship?
그렇군. 그래서 테레사, 당신은 무엇을 봤지?
Teresa, I would like to hear your testimony.
Certainly, sir. As I sat by my bedroom window, I saw 3 men in the moonlight down by the lodge gate. But I thought nothing of it at the time. Oh, if I'd known.
And then?
I went to bed, and it was more than an hour after that I heard my mistress scream. And down I ran, to find her tied to the chair and him on the floor with his head smashed. That's all I know.
그렇군요. 그렇다면 당신이 어떤 사람인지 좀 보겠습니다. 캐페인 주름살, 나이가 많군. 브로치가 아니네. 식초 냄새, 부인을도 뭐 전속하냐. 커피 자국. 커피 자국? 근데 무슨 배우 닮지 않았어? 어디서 많이 본 배우 닮았는데? 레스트레이드 경감의 진수. 브렉스터 부인. 브렉스터 부인은 25세로 호주의 유복한 집안에서 출생했다. 결혼 생활을 시작한 지 1년이 조금 넘었다. 2주 전부터 지속적으로 신체적인 폭행을 당해온 것으로 추정된다. 주변에 지인이 없는지라 바깥 생활은 전무하다. 테레사는 오랜 세월에 걸쳐 브렉스톨 부인을 돌보았다. 고용인 중에서는 유일하게 에비 그레인지 저택에 거주하며 부인의 식사 및 접대, 간호를 담당한다. 어떤 상황에서도 부인을 먼저 생각하는 사람이다. 이거 왠지 추리 소설적인 스토리를 예상을 하자면 이제 범인이 하녀 테레사인 거야. 감히 우리 주인님을 폭행을 해? 내 주인님을 위해서 이 한 몸 희생하겠습니다. 이러고 대신 이제 쓰러트린 거지. 뭔가 있어. 뭔가 있어. 뭔가 있는데? 그림?
These scratches are most definitely made by the picture frame.
아니,
This
금고?
is Sir Eustace's safe. There may be something important inside. I must ask Lady Brackenstall to open it.
일단 탁자를 먼저 조사를 해볼게요. 2명의 여성. 이게 그
This photograph
테레사와
of Lady
브렉스
Brackenstall and
부인인가?
her maid Teresa was taken at a port, but which one? So the
Vicky.
lady and her maid came from Australia a year and a half ago on this ship.
그렇군. 18개월 전에 여기로 왔다는 건가? 타임즈 가족범죄단이 기승부리다. 랜들 일가의 귀환. 약 2주 전 랜들 일가로 알려진 악명 높은 강도단이 시드넘 지역 저택을 무단 침입하여 강도 행각을 벌였던 것으로 밝혀졌다. 경찰이 추적하는 중이지만 기밀 수사인 관계로 피해자의 이름은 파악할 수 없었다. 목격자가 3인방의 모습을 정확하게 진술해준 덕분에 범행을 저지른 일당의 신원을 파악할 기회가 생긴 것으로 보인다. 본 기자는 친애하는 독자들에게 극악무도한 강도단의 기한을 알리고 현재 파악할 수 있는 모든 정보를 기고하기로 맘먹었다. 랜들 강도단은 수차례에 걸쳐 범죄를 일삼았으며 아버지와 두 아들을 구성되었다. 아버지 잭 랜들은 40대로 희끗희끗 머리와 평균적인 신장 체격을 같이 지녔다. 강도단의 두목으로서 생김새가 극명하게 다른 두 아들을 부하로 삼고 있었다. 맏아들 윌리엄 랜들은 키가 크고 건장한 체격이며 그에 걸맞지 않는 작은 머리가 특징이다. 핸섬하겠어요. 둘째 아들 멜빈 랜들은 말라 비틀어졌다라고 표현할 정도로 왜소한 체격을 지니고 있다. 용의자들은 다수의 강도 및 무단 침입 외에도 영국으로 귀환하는 선박을 무단 탈취했던 혐의로 수배 중이다. 독자들은 기종품을 도난당하는 일이 없도록 주의 바란다. 그렇다고
The
합니다.
description of the Randall gang provided by Lady Brackenstall is identical to the one in the Times article.
타임지 기사와 동일한 그렇군요. 저 큰 거는
Lady
무엇인가요?
Brackenstall, could you open this wall safe?
No, it is my husband's safe. I do not know the combination.
We have to open it. Your ladyship?
그러면 한번 열어볼까?
Let us try to open this safe. This
어떻게 열 수
safe can be cracked. I only have to pay attention. The dial will vibrate when it is set to the correct number.
숫자판이 흔들릴 거라 그랬거든? 이런 식으로. 마지막은 이건가? 오, 맞췄어. 미친. 의료 소견서. 유스터스 경 육체 및 정신 건강이 심히 우려되는 바입니다. 간장 대상 부전의 증세를 확인했습니다. 진찰 결과 두 눈은 충혈되고 피부는 누렇게 뜬 상태였습니다. 숨결에는 악취가 섞여 있었는데 이는 간이 손상되었음을 의미합니다. 해농약 역시 의심되는 상황입니다. 최근에 다리에서 일어났던 경련은 잦은 알코올 섭취로 신경계에 문제가 생겼다는 신호입니다. 발작이 발생할 수도 있습니다. 진한 검사를 통해 간이 딱딱해지고 있다는 사실을 확인했으며 이는 간경화 때문으로 추정됩니다. 부풀어 오른 위 주변으로 복수가 차올랐습니다. 왼쪽 갈비뼈의 고통은 췌장질환으로 인한 현상인데 급성 췌장염으로 발전할 경우에는 치명적일 수 있습니다. 여타 환자들보다 훨씬 심각한 상태입니다. 과도하게 알코올을 섭취한다면 자가 조절 능력이 떨어지며 폭력적인 성향이 두드러질 겁니다. 다양한 치료법을 준비해뒀으니 제가 치료를 전담하도록 하겠습니다. 뭔가 치료를 받아야 됐었네.
Antique coins, possibly of value, but they're scattered without care. It is common practice to keep one's valuables in a safe behind a painting. It should not really pose a challenge for a criminal.
의심스러운 정황이 아직까지는 안 보여. 랜들 일당의 소행이 아니다. 증거와 증언에 따르면 용의자는 랜들 강도단이다. 일단은 저 사람들이 일단은 의심스러운 거는 타임지에서 말한 생김새와 똑같다고 한 거거든. 아닐 수도 있어. 구라일 수도 있어.
What do you know about Sir Eustace, Inspector? What was his reputation?
A charming man when sober, but an absolute demon when he was drunk. In such moments he was apparently capable of anything. Why, once he splashed fuel on Lady Brackenstall's dog and set it alight. Another day he threw a decanter of wine at Miss Wright's head.
아이고.
The alcohol seemed
좀
to
심한
madden him.
주정뱅인데.
To the point that we were forced to intervene several times to avoid a scandal.
좀 심한데? 주정뱅이가?
Lord Brigham Brackenstall. Baron Lyndon Brackenstall. Lord George Brackenstall. The Brackenstall family seems rather austere.
아이고. 아이 깜짝이야.
You should examine the body of Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
여기로 나가면 이렇게
The hunting scene.
뭔가가 있어. 벽난로 장식.
It appears that the bell rope was cut by someone taller than me. A fur trader's cabin.
그렇군.
So, Watson, what have you learned from examining Sir Eustace's body?
Well, I can confirm that the death was instant. Sir Eustace was facing his attacker when he received the blow to his head. There are no other apparent injuries.
머리를 한번 볼까? 이게 그
That must be the murder weapon.
흉기인가?
The head was cracked with the force of the blow.
근데 이걸로 저게 한방 컷이 되나?
Barefoot, he had therefore been in bed and did not have time to fully dress. Quite a large stick, a formidable weapon.
또 무엇가 있을까?
It is covered in blood. Sir Eustace might have struck his head upon it while falling from the blow. That is one possible explanation.
있을 법한 얘기지. 유리잔.
This glass has some wine traces, but no visible beeswing.
건더기가 없다는 게 무슨 의미지?
There is beeswing at the bottom, as if the wine had not been decanted before being poured. This glass has some wine traces, but no visible beeswing. It is rather strange that only one of these glasses has dregs of beeswing inside it, while the other two are clear.
그렇대.
Chateau Calon Ségur, French wine, Grand Cru. A decanter standing next to the open bottle, an inseparable pair indeed.
그렇다고 합니다. 건더기가 있는 게 뭔가 이상한 건가?
A fur trader's cabin. A deer hunt.
그게 그렇게 이상할 만한
The
그건가?
hunting scene.
아이고. 유리병이 많어? 몸싸움
These
때문에
wine
그런 건가?
bottles are expensive, and mostly from France.
아니 그렇다기에는
A bottle of wine is missing here.
그 저쪽에서 따라 마신 그건 것 같은데.
This candlestick is valuable. It is interesting that it was not also stolen. An empty silverware box. It appears that the intruders have stolen the contents.
근데 이것만 훔쳐갔다는 것도
The
조금 말이 안
criminals
되긴
did
해.
not thoroughly ransack the house. They only took a little silverware.
여기 있다. 이거 아까 잘린 거.
Sailor's knots. That's interesting. This rope was handled by the murderers. We need a scent hound to follow their trail. I will take it with me. This is the chair that Lady Brackenstall was tied to.
아, 저기 있던 거를 잘라서 여기서 묶었다고? 아이고. 순간이동을 하고 있네.
This door leads to the upstairs bedrooms. Apparently the criminals did not venture there.
그렇습니다. 분석. 그리고 신문.
The death was instant.
즉사를 한 모양. 한번 뭐가 이렇게 많아? 건더기가 남아있는 유리잔. 부지기. 뭐, 우와, 아무것도 없어 왜? 됐다. 불행한 사고. 이런 식으로. 그럴 리가 없지. 불행한 사고인가 부직갱으로 인한 살해인가? 여기 뭐가 있는 거지? 범인은 3명, 범인은 2명. 아, 2개의 유리잔에 담겨있던 포도주를 다른 유리잔으로 옮겨 담으면서 건더기가 한 군데로 모였다. 그래서 의심스럽다. 그럴 수도 있네. 굉장히 의심스럽군요. 정황상.
I've searched outside for footprints without any luck.
탁자 위에
There are 3
유리잔.
glasses on the dining room table. I was wondering if...
Oh, I forgot. When I came to myself the first time, each of them had a glass in his hand. They might have been a father and his 2 sons. They talked together in whispers, and then they left.
Your ladyship?
그렇다. 그렇구만.
Sir Eustace's doctor speaks of his violent behaviour.
Yes, Sir Eustace was an extremely violent man. A detestable human being, to be more precise. It is true that he once threw a decanter at me, and all because I dared to stand up to him in defence of my mistress. Sly devil. God forgive me that I should speak of him so now that he's dead. But a devil he was, if ever one walked the earth. We met him only 18 months ago. She'd only just arrived in London. Yes, it was her first voyage. She'd never been from home before. Wonder with his title and his money and his false London ways. If she made a mistake, she has paid for it if ever a woman did.
아, 뭔가 정략 결혼 이런 게 아니라 그냥 여기 와가지고 이빨림만에 속아서 결혼한 거구나. 충분한 동기가 될 만해. 아, 설마 의심하는 게 다른 지인들을 이용해서 처리를 했다? 그것까지 조금 많이 선 넘는 그거 아닐까?
I've searched outside for footprints.
바깥에는 뭐 있나 좀 볼게요. 없을 것 같지만. 우물이네. 이거 뭐지? 정원이 참 아담하게 잘 돼 있다. 일단 베이커가 가서 저거를 한번 찾아봅시다. 허허, 참 그렇군. 조사를 한번 해봅시다.
Let us see how the rope was cut. The fibers at the end of the rope are smoothly cut. Let us try to find out what tool was used to cut the rope.
가위로 한번 잘라볼까?
The fibers from this cut appear to be different.
일단 가위는 아니고 일단 칼로 잘라볼까? 싹! 칼인
If
것
I cut the
같구만.
rope with a knife, it matches the original.
칼로 잘라냈다. 날카로운 칼, 매듭진 끈. 호출기 끈은 날카로운 칼에 의해 잘려나갔으며 뱃사람들이 즐겨 쓰는 형태로 매듭진 상태였다. 선원 출신의 침입자가 있었던 모양이다. 걔네들이 선원 출신인가? 한번 그거 다시 봐볼까? 일단 토비를 데려오자. 토비! 가자!
Come on, Toby. We need the best nose in the British Empire on this case.
저 신발 설마 왓슨 거야? 가자.
I agree with you, Toby, that Watson's shoe...
Someone should take Toby for a walk.
좋아. 에비 그레이스 저택. 잠깐만요. 잠깐 소리가 안 들릴 거야. 잠깐만요. 됐어. 가자, 토비.
Search, Toby.
서치, 토비. 냄새가 나요. 이 냄새는 주인님 냄새가 나요. 냄새가 안 나요. 색깔 구별이 안 돼요. 이거 뛰는 거 없나요, 주인님? 저 너무 느려요. 킁킁킁킁킁킁. 이 냄새는 나 탐정의 개로서 나 추리한다.
The intruders entered the shed for some reason when they were making off with the silverware.
아직 더 있지. 주인님, 제가 냄새를 더 맡았어요. 아, 여기에요. 스파. 역시 여기가 좀 이상했어. 뭔가가 있었어. 아니네. 맞네. 여기에 뭔가가 있어요.
The scent leads to the well. I should check it.
주인님, 아직 끝이 아니에요. 냄새가 더 이어진단 말이에요. 냄새는 말이야, 여기서 여기로 갔어요.
The intruders'
자,
trail
저에게
is
얼른
lost
객검을.
behind this wall.
나 잘했지.
The criminals left the house through the French window. They walked to the shed, then across to the well, before fleeing by climbing over the wall. I wonder why they chose such a winding route.
그렇다면 방법은 단 하나. 여기를 뒤져보는 것뿐. 과연
This hook might be useful.
this hook is
Small
my
gardening tools, nothing of great interest. Bags of seed. Some empty bags were recently moved.
씨앗자루.
This old suitcase sounds hollow. It must be empty.
별건 없네. 내 갈고리가 필요하다고. 반짝이는
There's
물체.
something glittering at the bottom there, but how can I reach it?
이거 설마 식기인가?
Silverware. This is hardly a
분명
coincidence.
훔쳐왔다 그랬는데 도대체 왜? 이 포크가 여기 있는 것인가?
The Brackenstall coat of arms. It appears that we have found the stolen silverware.
그렇다면은 그네들이 말했던 그거는
Brave Toby. The best nose in the British Empire.
불화라고 할 수 있겠군. 거짓일 확률이 높아요. 그렇다면은 랜들 일당의 소행이 아니지. 이거는 불화지. 부지깽으로 사망인지 적으로 사망인지는 모르겠다. 이것도 모르겠어. 이쪽엔 뭐가 더 있나?
Inspector, I have recovered the stolen silverware.
You are a wizard, Mr. Holmes. And where is it?
Where
in the
is it?
garden well.
Excuse me?
Unique, isn't it?
Rather absurd. What is the point of stealing silverware and then throwing it down into a well?
Perhaps it was used as a temporary hiding place, or simply the thieves wanted to get rid of it. It is up to us to solve this mystery.
의심스럽군. 굉장히 의심스러워.
We found your silverware, Lady Brackenstall. It had not been taken very far.
Is that true? I am very thankful to you, Mr. Holmes.
Your ladyship?
그게 감사할 만한 일인가?
We found your mistress's silverware.
Oh, that's good news. You really are as clever as they say.
Indeed.
의심스러워. 아무리 봐도 의심스러워. 과연 이 부직갱이로 진짜
That
죽었을까?
must be the murder weapon.
근데 여기에 부딪혔을 수도 있고. 근데 잠깐만, 이러면은 나 벌써 끝난 거야?
This door leads to the upstairs bedrooms. Apparently the criminals did not venture there. Antique hunting weapons.
더 조사할 게 없는데? 이게 끝이야? 잠깐만. 어허. 나는 지금 의심하는 게 저 둘이거든요. 그리고 이거는 몸싸움을 하다가 이렇게 된 것 같아. 그래서 부직갱이로 한 것 마냥 한 것 같음. 원인은 가정불화다. 벌써 이게 나온다고? 선원과의 인맥 하면 어떻게 되지? 선원수색. 이걸 해봅시다. 뭔가 더 있어. 그래, 이게 끝일 리가 없어. 그러니까 증거들에 대해서 한번 조합을 해보고 더 많은 증거를 찾아봐야 돼. 이러고 했는데 선원이 이제 뭐 진짜 아는 사람이 있다? 진짜 선원이 범일 수도 있고. 바람이 난 거지. 킹능성은 언제나 존재한다. 1893년이에요. 여기다. 애들레이드, 사우스햄튼, 런던 노선. 의 화물선 지브롤터의 바이가 인도, 뉴질랜드, 호주를 거치는 6개월간의 항해 끝에 런던으로 돌아왔다. 호주에서 대지와 강산을 소유 중인 프레이저 가문의 상속녀 마리 프레이저 역시 런던에 도착했다. 마리 프레이저 영예는 켄트주의 부호인 유스터스 브렉스톨 경과 약혼한
Here
사이다.
it is.
그렇군. 유격대 찾아보게.
The shipping company, the Adelaide, Southampton, London line, and its address. Interesting. It must be the place where they keep the records, including the one for the crew of the Rock of Gibraltar.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard, they'll give it to you without any problems.
But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist.
그래, 이대로 끝날 리가 없어. 뭔가 더 있어. 에이, 위긴스, come here.
Wiggins, could you come upstairs, please?
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
I need a register, my young friend. If you could borrow it, there will be half a guinea for every one of you. I need the crew list of the Rock of Gibraltar in 1893, and their current employment.
I'm straight on it, Mr. Holmes.
Do you really think they'll find it, Holmes?
My secret police is better than the Yard in many ways.
그렇게 3시간이 지나고
Here it is, Mr. Holmes. But we can't take it back. It's too risky.
Put it on the table. I'll take care of it. Good work, young Wiggins.
Good work. 책상.
This list shows the senior officers of the Rock of Gibraltar, on which Lady Brackenstall and her maid made their voyage. Lady Brackenstall does not know anyone in England. This must mean that someone on this list is our mysterious visitor.
Mysterious beast.
And these are the lists of the senior officers of the Adelaide, Southampton, London Line ships. Let us find out who was in London upon November the 7th.
11월 7일에 런던에 있었던 사람? 런던 11월 7일.
I do not think that Mr. Jack Crocker was in London upon the date of the crime, and he is due to depart in 2 days.
잭 크로커, 그리고 머도 고퍼, 프랭크 윌크, 조지 스튜어트, 네일 하커스, 하비 데이비슨, 던먼 차바스 관련 없고, 알프레도 관련 없는 사람이고, 해롤드 샌더슨 관련 없는 사람이고, 반더랜더 관련 없는 토마스 워커 관련이 있는데 얘네는 런던에 있었는가? 11월 7일에.
This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved.
토마스 워크는 관련이 없어요.
This
하버트
officer is still at
휘핑턴도
sea,
상관이
therefore
없었고.
he cannot be involved.
하나씩 지워. 아치발드, 제임스 텔코트, 헨리 사우스와드.
This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved.
이 사람과
This officer is
이
still at
사람
sea, therefore he cannot be involved.
관련이 없고. 찰스 W.
This officer was on a ship that sailed half a month ago. He wasn't in London at the time of the crime.
그리고
This
윌리엄
officer was on a
파트리지.
ship that sailed half a month ago. He wasn't in London at the time of the crime.
그렇다면은 그때 있었던 사람은
Captain
단 한
Jack
사람, 잭
Crocker
크로커.
is our mysterious visitor. He was the only one around at the time of the murder.
단 한 사람. 잭 크로커라는 사람이 거기 있었어요.
This Crocker, do you think...
It would be interesting to meet him. Our young friend should be able to find him.
잠깐 화장실 좀 갔다 올게요. 이게 그 선원이 밧줄 묶듯이 그거를 묶었다는 그게 있어서 선원도 분명 용의전상에 들어가야 돼. 그래, 데려오게. 아주 무지 한번.
Wiggins, could you find a way to bring this Captain Crocker here to us?
Here? Holmes, that could be dangerous.
No problem, Mr. Holmes.
분명히 의심 갖는 정황이 있어. 일단 키가 큰
Mr.
사람이
Holmes?
있어야 되고,
I was informed that you were looking for
그리고
me,
그
and I'd
묶는
like
법이
to know why.
선원들이 묶는 법이래잖아.
Yes, it is important that we talk. You will soon understand why.
굉장히 키가 크구만. 그리고 외모도 단정하고 근육질에 이 정도면은 충분히 살인에 저지를 만한 신체 조건을 갖고 있어. 장화가 굉장히 깨끗해. 깔끔한 사람인가? 또 뭐가 없나? 분명 뭐가 있으니까 지금 하나가 더 있는 건데? 신문 잉크. 신문을 봤다.
You are acquainted with Lady Mary Brackenstall, are you not?
Yes, I think I do remember her. From when I was first officer, but I still don't see...
It seems your relationship went beyond that of mere passenger and first officer.
How dare you?
Indeed, how reckless a feeling is love, particularly if one is prepared to commit a murder in its name.
Explain yourself this instant.
You are aware that the murder made the headlines of the morning press. You read the newspaper report, but to your dismay found it much fabricated. Once you learned that I wanted to see you, you came straight away. You needed to know what I had found.
You... And what do you know?
That evening, you were with Lady Brackenstall, despite the danger.
I'm not afraid, Mr. Holmes. Besides, all of this is just guesswork.
You would be right if there was no evidence.
What then?
잠깐만. 이거 요대로 엔딩가?
Lady Brackenstall was tied to a chair on the night of the murder. And it was you who tied her up.
You call that evidence?
당연하지.
Yes, as she was tied with a sailor's knot. Your handiwork.
So, it's a sailor...
그리고 칼로 잘랐잖아.
That proves nothing, Mr. Holmes. I'm not the only sailor in London right now. Your theory is flawed anyway. On the night of the murder, I was aboard the Sharp. I was supervising the repair of a porthole.
At night.
It was an emergency. There was a leak. You can ask the ship's carpenter. He can confirm.
I'm sure that he can.
Perfect. In that case, we have nothing more to talk about. Good evening, gentlemen.
Holmes, what should we do now? Would you like to check his alibi?
No, there is no doubt that these men will testify in his favor, and there will be no way to check.
So, what then?
So, we must work with what we have. We have all the puzzle pieces.
Now I understand why you dissected the bell rope.
일단은 칼을 갖고 있었어. 잭 크로커 선장이 범인이다. 그리고 크로커 선장 알리바이가 진이 없다. 일리가 없지. 살해 동기는 도둑질이다. 범인은 3명이고 랜들 일당이다. 랜들 일당이 범인이다. 지금 그건 다 모인 것 같아요. 과연 크로커 선장이 범인일지, 가정불화로 이제 이렇게 죽인 거였지. 근데 랜드리 땅이 범인일 건지. 근데 랜드리 땅일 일은 거의 없어. 그러면은 이제 이 두 개가 이제 문제인데, 아까 그 밧줄을 자르려면은 키 큰 사람이 필요해. 아무리 여자 2명이고 아무리 의자를 밟고 올라가서 그걸 잘랐다고 해도 내가 봤을 때는 크로커 선장이야. 왜냐면 일단 키 큰 사람이 필요하고, 그걸 묶어준 것도 그 밧줄 묶는 법도 선원이 한 거고, 심지어 칼로 잘랐어. 그래서 구라를 친 거지, 얘네 둘이. 맞나? 아, 근데 그러기에는 너무 명확한데? 너무 당당하게 자기는 그 시간에 바빴다고 하는데?
My analysis table.
좋아. 한번 다시 둘러봅시다. 포박을 했을 때 저게 돼 있었고, 사건 당일 밤 크로커 선장은 샤프호에 승선한 상태였다. 근데 그 밤이라는 게 정확하게 몇 시부터 몇 시까지인지를 모르잖아. 그냥 그렇게 만났다가 10시에서 11시라 그랬으니까 좀 늦게 왔을 수도 있는 거잖아. 아무리 봐도 살해를 할 수 있는 사람은 이 사람이야. 봐봐, 내가 왜 이걸 이렇게 생각하냐면은, 결정적으로 저거 밧줄을 끊을 사람이 저 사람밖에 없어. 이거를 자르려면 키가 커야 돼.
It appears that the bell rope was cut by someone taller than me.
봐봐, 나보다 키 큰 사람이 잘라냈어야 됐다. 근데 저분 여자 둘이서 저걸 잘라낼 수 있었을까? 아니? 내가 봤을 때는 여기서 미래를 한 거야. 둘이서 만났어. 그래서 둘이 포도주를 이제 마시고 있었어. 남편은 자고 있겠지라고 생각을 했는데, 남편이 그 둘이 하하호호 하는 소리에 깨가지고 내려왔더니, 아니 이 자식이! 이래서 부지깽이 두고 저 사람이 팍! 쓰러지면서 이제 여기에 탁! 머리가 탁! 가능성이 있어.
That must be the murder weapon. It is covered in blood. Sir Eustace might have struck his head upon it while falling from the blow. That is one possible explanation. The
주부
head
외상.
was cracked with the force of the blow.
잘 모르겠다. 이제 살인 무기가 이제 부지깽이냐 저기 부딪힌 거냐에 따라 갈리는 것 같은데. 의자를 밟고 올라가서 잘랐다고도 할 수 있나? 근데 칼이 주변에 칼이 있는지 보자. 근데 여기는 왜 이렇게 엉망인 거지? 주변에 칼이 없어. 물론 여기다 놔두진 않았겠지만. 거실에도 칼이 있나?
A hunter scene.
이런데 칼이 있나? 칼이 보인다면? 그게 증거가 될 수 있겠지만 칼이 없다면 칼을 들고 있는 그 자식이 범인일 확률이 굉장히 높다.
Oh, what a horrible thing to...
좋아. 나는 잭 크로커가 범인일 것 같아. 하지만 남편이 개새끼이므로 그대로 말하겠습니다. 자, 진짜 범인인지 아닌지 한번 보자고. 일단 얘네들이 처벌받는 거 원치 않아. 남편이 너무 개새끼인걸? 딱 내가 전형적으로 싫어하는 상의 남편이기 때문에. 옳게 된,
Wiggins,
물론
could you
좋은 건
ask
아니지만
Mr. Crocker to come here again, please?
Right away.
옳게 된 사건이라 봅니다.
Why did you make me come here again, Mr. Holmes?
It is over. I know that it was you who killed Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
What?
I know, because of the height at which the rope was cut. The knife used was a sea knife, the knots were sailor's knots, and not least the sheer force that was put behind the killing blow. And because you are the only one who knows Lady Mary Brackenstall in London. And because you love her.
It's true.
아,
It is
맞췄어.
time for you to tell us the whole
야,
truth.
맞췄어.
I admit that I loved Mary madly from the first day that I met her. But I never did come to visit her, for I believed that she was in a happy household. When I talked to her maid, who told me everything, I was insane with rage. I was due to set sail for 6 months away. I wanted only to see her again. But it turned into a damnable nightmare when he barged in. He dared raise his hand to her. He was not even worthy of licking her boots. Oh, I regret nothing. I admit I killed the monster out of love for her. She will forgive me if she is able.
Lady Brackenstall already forgave you.
근데
She
노랫소리
said
왜 이러냐?
nothing.
Mary.
But that makes her an accomplice as well as her maid. It places her in danger yet again.
Mr. Holmes.
You would not have managed to protect her.
Till I die, do you hear me? Here is a letter that sets everything clear. And it is the one that should be disclosed to the police.
정직해. 멋있어. 야, 얘 왜 이렇게 멋있냐, 얘.
Mary had nothing to do with it.
사람이
Now
정직하고
it is time
참
to end this.
사건이 그랬지만 절대 그럴 리면 안 되지. 절대 그러면 안 되지. 절대 그러면 안 되지. 오. 절대 지켜. 넌 그러면 안 돼. 난 절대 너가 죽는 거 용서치 않는다.
Please forgive me, Captain Crocker. I wished only to test your sincerity. and your words and deeds have far exceeded my expectations. See here, Captain Crocker, we'll do this in due form of law. You are the prisoner. Watson, you are a British jury. Captain Crocker, the evidence shows that you acted without premeditation and used reasonable force to protect an innocent victim from her husband's brutality. Your devotion pushed you to attempt to kill yourself in order to protect the one you love. Now, what say you, gentlemen of the jury?
Not guilty, my lord.
Vox populi, vox Dei. You are acquitted, Captain Crocker. So long as the law does not find some other victim, you are safe from me.
Mr. Holmes.
It is a great responsibility that I take upon myself, but I will give Lestrade an excellent lead, and if he can't avail himself of it, I can do no more. Come back to your lady in a year, and may her future and yours justify us in the judgment which we have pronounced this night.
오, 멋있어. 좋은 사건이었다.
Inspector, I'm afraid that the murderers have escaped us.
What? Do you mean to tell me that you failed? Never thought I'd live to see the day.
이런 날이 올 줄
I
몰랐는데.
mentioned the murderers, not the case. It is obvious that the crime was committed by 3 criminals who cannot be the Randalls.
You really think so?
You only need to find a gang of 3 thugs wandering around. I can trust you to do that.
If they exist, I'll catch them.
You'll find someone, I have no doubt of it. Goodbye, Inspector.
아무한테나 지금 쟤 뒤집어 씌우려고. 오, 좋아요, 좋아요. 근데 이제 다른 결말도 궁금하긴 하다. 이거 그냥 경찰에다 넘기면 어떻게 되지? 한번 볼까? 그냥 경찰에다 한번 넘겨볼게. 아, 근데 이번 스토리는 좀 짧다. 이번 스토리는 좀 짧구만. 이거 그대로 해가지고 잠깐만, 선장을 체포한다. 이걸로 한번 가볼게. 그럼 어떻게 좀 진행되나 한번 보자.
Wiggins, could you ask Mr. Crocker to come here again, please?
Right away.
아까는 잠시 후 아니었어? 약 1시간이 지나고?
Why did you make me come here again, Mr. Holmes?
미스터
It is over. I know that it was you who killed Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
What?
I know because of the height at which the rope was cut. The knife used was a sea knife, the knots were sailor's knots, and not least the sheer force that was put behind the killing blow. And because you are the only one who knows Lady Mary Brackenstall in London. And because you love her.
It's true.
It is time for you to tell us the whole truth.
I admit that I loved Mary madly from the first day that I met her. But I never did come to visit her, for I believed that she was in a happy household. When I talked to her maid, who told me everything, I was insane with rage. I was due to set sail for 6 months away. I wanted only to see her again. But it turned into a damnable nightmare when he barged in. He dared raise his hand to her. He was not even worthy of licking her boots. Oh, I regret nothing. I admit I killed the monster out of love for her. She will forgive me if she is able.
Lady Brackenstall already forgave you. She said nothing.
Mary.
But that makes her an accomplice as well as her maid. It places her in danger yet again.
여기까지
Mr.
똑같네.
Holmes,
You would not have managed to protect her.
till I die, do you hear me? Here is a letter that sets everything clear, and it is the one that should be disclosed to the police. I am the only culprit. Mary had nothing to do with it. Now it is time to end this.
오! 오! 여기까지 똑같네. 여기서 이제 법의 심판을 받으라고 하는 거구나.
You should have let me die. How can I live if Mary suffers?
I am sorry, Captain Crocker, but there has been quite enough death in this case. Inspector, I give you Sir Eustace's killer. He tried his best to perform his own justice.
Well, I'm not surprised. Yes, it was me. I confess.
Here is a piece of evidence that can be used in court.
Perfect. A case that went smoothly for once.
그렇군. 이렇게 들어가네요. 다 똑같은데 이제 마지막만 살짝 다르네. 네, 해피엔딩이냐 이제 새드엔딩이냐인데 딱 그 정도만 다르구만. 그럼 이제 부인 그걸로 해볼까? 왠지 근데 그 일당들 그걸로 하면은 그냥 쟤네 잡아라 하고 끝날 것 같지 않아? 뭐야? 왜 규탄한다가 뒤야? 이거 선처를 베푼다 먼저 해볼게. 그 다음에 규탄한다가 보자. 규탄하면은 뭐 어떻게 되나? 똑같을 것 같긴 한데 가봅시다.
Ladies, I know the full story. You are both guilty, are you not?
Mr. Holmes, I can explain everything.
No, madam, he's bluffing.
It is no use. Your husband was a violent man, a cruel man. Your argument last night ended tragically, with him stumbling and falling, fatally striking his head upon the fireplace grate. However, your mise en scène to divert suspicion was unnecessary. You should have admitted the truth.
The truth is often subjective, Mr. Holmes.
Not to me.
What will you tell Inspector Lestrade?
He will find nothing, as he handed the case over to me. Farewell, ladies.
이렇게 끝이야?
Inspector, I'm afraid that the murderers have escaped us.
What? Do you mean to tell me that you failed? Never thought I'd
이거는
live to see the
똑같은데?
day.
I mentioned the murderers, not the case.
You really think so?
You only need...
If they...
You'll find...
이거는 똑같네. 와, 근데 뼈 때리는 말 하나 때리고 간다, 부인이. 진실은 바라보기 나름이죠. 오. 뼈 때리는 말인데? 네 놈은 틀렸어. 이 놈은 틀렸어? 넘기면은 뭐 넘겨볼까? 넘기면은 뭐라고 하려나?
I have reached my conclusion, Lestrade.
아,
I regret
바로
that
그냥
your
얘한테
culprits are in
말하는구나.
the next room.
Lady Brackenstall and her maid?
Yes, and their mise en scene after the death of Sir Eustace can only point to premeditation.
That's terrible. Follow me. I'm going to arrest them. Ladies, I must arrest you both for the murder of Sir Eustace.
What? But that's impossible. We are innocent. Madam,
You'll tell that to the judge. Come with me now.
You are making a serious mistake, Inspector. You too, Mr. Holmes, which is rather surprising of you.
Or rather, impossible.
별거 없네. 근데 진짜 억울하겠다. 본인이 살인한 것도 아니고 그저 증언을 숨겨줬을 뿐인데 사랑하는 사람을 위해서 죄는 자기가 다 뒤집어 쓰고. 랜드니 땅이 범인이다. 이거는 뭐 별거 없을 것 같은데? 뭐야? 저거 어떻게 되는지만 한번 보자. 신문이 다르게 쓸리는 것 같은데.
Well, Inspector, this case proved to be a simple one after all.
You think it's the Randall gang, then?
Yes,
I'll put my men on it straight away.
I'll leave that to you, Inspector. After all, you have handled this matter quite brilliantly.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Holmes. I do appreciate it.
근데 진짜 별거 없다. 쟤네 거라고 하면 쟤네가 일으킨 사건이라고 하면. 두 번째 거는 뭐로 하지? 얘가 홈즈가 직접 찾으러 가나? 랜들이 있다?
Well, Inspector, this case proved to be a simple one after all.
You think it's the Randall gang, then?
Yes.
I'll put my men on it straight away.
The next time you call on me, do try to make sure it's for something a little better than this.
What do you mean, Mr. Holmes?
It is a case that only Watson could find some small point of interest in. I am used to more challenging work.
뭐야? 뭐가 다른 거야? 별거 다른 게 없네요. 그러면 한번 봅시다. 원래 걸로 갑시다. 잭 크로커 선장의 범인이고 선처를 베푼다. 오늘은 좀 빨리 끝났네 스토리가.
Wiggins, could you ask Mr. Crocker to come here again, please?
Right away.
약
Why did you
시간
make me come here again, Mr. Holmes?
이건
It is
넘어갑시다.
over. I know that
못
it was
넘기네?
you who
잠깐만.
killed.
What?
What?
It's
맞는 말이 왜다?
But
이걸 또 하고 앉아 있어야 돼. W 따. 완벽한 반응 속도.
please forgive.
짜잔. 완벽하네요. 증거도 다 찾았고. 인성수치, 자원봉사자. 동일한 방법으로 사건을 해결한 비율. 와우. 근데 이번 건 좀 쉬웠어. 동일한 도덕적 선택을 제시한 비율. 이거 근데 생각보다 처단한 사람이 꽤 많네. 내일은 큐 왕립 식물원의 비극 한번 진행하도록 하겠습니다.
Holmes, for heaven's sake, whatever's going on?
아 이건 또
Oh,
뭐야?
hello, Watson. You're early. Did you kill all of your patients?
What? Holmes, where have all these wretched bees come from?
I increased the temperature of the room so as to prevent them from hibernating. I needed to take a sample of honey. But it worked, Watson. We will have honey all year round.
Ridiculous and dangerous.
They're domestic bees, Apis mellifera, such industrious workers. Anyway, Watson, I am sorry, but I must leave you. I'm in rather a hurry.
You have a new case?
Yes, but nothing as thrilling as this experiment. A theft of plants at the Royal Botanic Gardens in Kew. I'm helping a minister who's an old friend of mine. You can join me if you like.
Well, I'll admit that I'd far rather accompany you than remain alone here with these workers of yours. Besides, you'll need a helping hand with the flowers you're intending to bring back.
Watson, how ever did you guess?
For the great Sherlock Holmes to bother with the theft of plants. Come on, Admit that you're planning to spoil your little bees with some rare pollen.
이젠 왓슨도 추리를 한다.
Since when did I become so transparent? Let us go.
사건이 중요한 게 아니라 이번에는 그냥 그 꽃이 중요한 거였어. 하지만 의외죠? 재밌는 사건이 될 수도 있다는 거. 편지. 브렉스톨 부인의 고백. 이제서야 편지를 쓸 용기를 내게 됐어요. 홈즈 씨께서 베풀어 주신 은혜에 어떻게 감사를 표해야 할지 모르겠네요. 사건 당일에는 제 인생이 끝장났다고 생각했건만 결국 제가 진정으로 사랑했던 사람이 있었음을 깨닫게 되는 계기가 되었답니다. 홈즈 씨께서 알다시피 이것 때문에 가려져가지고 알다시피 잭 크로커라는 사람이에요. 그의 사랑으로 살아갈 힘을 얻었어요. 평생을 함께 할 수는 없지만 홈즈 씨 덕분에 사랑을 알아채게 되었네요. 감사를 담아 마리 브렉스톨. 평생을 함께 살아갈 수는 없다고? 재혼을 할 수가 없어서 그런가? 은재 포크. 큐 왕립식물원에서 열린 전시회 당시 도둑맞은 신물을 찾으십시오 라는 시나리오가 있지만 이거는 내일 하도록 하겠습니다. 이것도 짧으면 어떡하지? 모르겠다. 그래도 하루에 하나씩만 하기로 했으니까. 그래도 오늘 홈즈는 여기까지. 나중에 봐요. 빠이.